Hi everybody. If you're seeing this video, it's because you searched on YouTube for answers to the discussion forums in PHI 103, a course at Ashford University. And my name is Justin Harrison, and I am the chair of philosophy at Ashford. And I decided to make a YouTube video to fight against these people who are trying to prey on you and to try to step in and prevent you from utilizing these resources as you complete not only PHI 103, but the remainder of your courses at Ashford. There are a couple of problems with these websites, these people who promise to give you answers either to discussion forums or to assignments or anything like that. The first is a moral problem or an ethical issue. It's just not fair. It's not fair for you to not do the work that other people in your course are actually doing. Now, I don't think that all of you have the intention to cheat in searching for answers for the discussion forums. Perhaps you're just looking up PHI 103 in general. And so I don't want to claim that everybody here is doing something unethical. But if you are, then what you're choosing to do is not do the work that other people, that your fellow peers are doing, and that's not fair to them. And it's also really, in a certain sense, not fair to you. There's always going to be some reason why people choose to cheat. And usually it's because they don't have the time to put in to understand the material. But if we think about this, no matter what, there's always going to be somebody who has less time than you do. There will always be a fellow classmate who has more children, who works longer hours, who perhaps doesn't have a spouse to help in the care of those children. And that person has chosen not to cheat. Now, she might get a B on her assignment, she might get a C, she might get a D, but she's made the right decision. She's chosen to do the work herself. And in so doing the work, or in so doing, she will have a greater knowledge of the material. Even if she gets a B, C, or a D on the assignment, she'll still have put in the work to understand as much as she understood to receive that grade. So this comes to the second issue. When people look up or ask for help from these agencies, they don't learn the material. Now, that tends to reflect a view of college that is based on the attainment of the degree as the sole purpose of college. And granted, many of us have fallen into that, especially in courses that we don't enjoy. And you might not enjoy this class at all. Of course, I hope that you do. But you might not, and that's fine. People are different and their tastes are different. However, when you don't put in the work in your own courses and you rely on others to provide you with content, you're not learning. Now, that might be fine, and you might be able to do that in order to obtain grades in courses. And perhaps you might even be able to do that throughout an entire academic career. However, when you come out of that academic career, you might have thousands and thousands of dollars in loans, and your mind won't know anything, or will only know a tiny amount of information that, that it learned over the course of that period. So what you've really done is not only have you paid your student loans to take these courses, you've paid somebody else to do the work for you. And coming out, you have a piece of paper, but that doesn't transfer. Just because you have a piece of paper doesn't mean you have any knowledge at all, especially if you go through these methods. And so ultimately what you've done is spent thousands and thousands of dollars of your hard-earned resources to get a piece of paper. Now, if that's your view of college, I hope that you'll attempt to think outside of that box, to think of college as the opportunity to learn, to examine fields that you've never examined before, to interact with content experts and peers in the pursuit of knowledge and a wide breadth of wisdom. I hope that you'll choose to try to love your courses, to try to do the work, even if it is not the most stimulating. Because ultimately, you know that what you're doing is shaping your mind and your brain, and it's shaping your ability to complete tasks, to think critically, to problem solve. Everything that you're doing, time management, grit, effort, all of these things are being enhanced when you choose not to go to these to these providers. And then the third thing I just want to say is to the providers themselves, shame on you for what you're doing. You're preying on people. Let me just tell you who you're preying on. You're preying on women. You're preying on middle-aged adults who often have children and full-time jobs. You're preying on people who are in mid to lower socioeconomic classes. You're offering work and you're lying to them. You're telling these students that you're providing them with resources that are untraceable, and we all know that's not true. You're giving the same resources to multiple students. We use Turnitin, we use plagiarism software, and then those students end up failing their courses. And of course you can say to yourself, well, they've chosen to buy our product, but your product itself is based in unethical behavior. It's based in a lie. So shame on you for what you're doing. And students, listen to what I'm saying. Those companies are interested parties. They don't care about you at all. They don't care about your success at all. What they care about is getting money from you. They're already doing something unethical. So what makes you think that they're not going to lie to you when they tell you that their product is untraceable? That you'll pass your classes with an A or a B average? What are you going to do when you visit the website after you get caught for plagiarism and perhaps expelled from the university, and the website's not there anymore, or it's been shifted, or the phone number leads to nowhere? What are you going to do? Now you've got thousands of dollars in student loans. You've got the money that you paid these people who stole it from you, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're stealing from you. They're not providing anything that you can't do on your own. You can do it, right? So you've got those two things. Now you're in trouble at school because you've plagiarized, right? Or because you've used these outside resources, and perhaps you've been kicked out of the university. Okay, so what are you going to do at that point? What's your next option? You know, you're already an online student because of the limitations in your life. You have family, you have a job already. You can't go to a local community college or a college because they only offer classes during the day. You don't feel comfortable being in a room with 18-year-olds who don't understand your life narrative, your story, everything that you've been through, right? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go when these people provide a service to you, right, that gets you in trouble? Well, anyway, that's my little argument against, because this is PHI 103 and formal logic, that's my argument against using these websites. I hope that you will do your work, that you will believe in yourself, that you will engage the text and your instructors and your peers when you need help, and that you will develop your minds on your own. It's okay to be a C student. Being a C student and gaining knowledge throughout your college career that no one can take from you, deep learning, knowledge that you can apply to your field, is much better than getting an A or a B, coming out with a piece of paper, but having no knowledge. And in the end, your employer will know. The proof is in the pudding, right? If you come out with and you say you have a degree in a specific field and you understand the content of that field, and then you fail to perform in the business world, your employer will say to you, look, we don't need you. We need people who actually have the knowledge, right? And so ultimately, the proof will come out in the end if you use these illicit methods for completing the course. So anyway, that's my argument. I hope that you won't search for these sites, that you won't let them prey on you, and I hope that the people who create these products for students, of course, you're not going to be swayed by what I say. You're already in the midst of dedicating your life to lies, basically, and to preying on people who have been preyed on by society, by the political structures. They've not been catered to in terms of the same levels of education as their counterparts in society, and now you're preying on them, and you're preying on their lack of knowledge. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoy PHI 103, and I hope these videos get out, and I hope that people see them. I hope they go to #1 on YouTube so that every time that a student searches for illicit materials or cheating materials on the web, they'll see me and hopefully hear what I have to say. We do our best to provide resources to help you. We're committed to helping our students, and I hope that you'll choose those resources rather than someone who just wants to exploit you for profit and gain.